Okay, do we have any questions from the audience?
Over time, I've been able to identify people. You know, you meet people and you just say, I think that's talent. In terms of maybe the service they provide or in terms of what they do. So in all I've heard this morning, I understand it, I get it. But I'm thinking, how does the woman on the street selling plantain get it? How does the person selling bread without being the lady that was caught in the video and her life was transformed? Because for me, I think it's about the service those kind of people will create. I have this woman, maybe somewhere in Fadeyi. I just stopped that day to buy plantain. But I think it was the service I got. There was just a genuineness in the kind of way she served me. I just found myself going back there. I have some other woman that used to buy plantain from very close to my house, but I think she started taking it for granted and started asking me for extras. And I said, what's going on here? So I saw somebody else really all out. The moment I park my car, she comes to meet me, and there's just a genuineness about it. And I'm telling myself sitting down, are you saying that that person is not finding purpose there without... I'm just trying to put it together like, come, we're educated, we can get it, we'll go back home and really reminisce. But what happens to that person that cannot put all of this and saying, come, I'm only selling gari or I'm only selling plantain. What's all this vision and things they're talking about? How am I going to bring it all together? Thank you.
She might have found her purpose. Your purpose can be simply to care for people in a unique way. Let me put it that way to you. So I tell you, you're a makeup artist. I have this discussion a lot with people. You're a makeup artist, beautiful. You're good at what you do. You care for people. I tell you, can you please aim to own a makeup company? Don't just be a makeup artist. Own a makeup company. You are a compere. I mean, don't just aim to be the best compere in town. Aim to be someone. Look at what Alibaba has done for the compere industry. Look at what AY has done in the compere industry. I mean, look at what fashion designers have done in their different industries. The question is this thing you're doing, is it right there with you, or do you see the capacity that you can achieve with it? The lady who sells plantain, I mean, if you have a discussion with her, you can help her see how she can supply the entire neighborhood plantain.
Excuse me. Everybody has a vision. It might just not be the right time. You might not have caught it yet. It's a matter of time. You will catch the vision and even the grounder one. So because you don't have it now and you're in your comfort zone does not mean that you really don't have a vision. It's about time. Over time, you will catch it. You will have a dream. You have a vision somehow. And then, there's something you also need to put in your mind. I read in a magazine some years back about this car magazine, an American car manufacturer. They wrote that some people feel that they've succeeded. Fortunately, none of them work for us because we don't believe in success. And it simply means that you keep improving on whatever you do. You don't say because you're in your comfort zone and because you're earning. How much are you earning? People are earning like 10 times what you're earning anyway. Are you earning for yourself or for your family or for your nuclear family or for Nigeria or for who? Praise the Lord.
So that brings me to a question that we have here. It says to have a grander vision, it requires one to step out into the wild on his own or our own with God, of course, leading. But can a grander vision be built around an already existing grander vision? For example, you work in a company with someone already, but have visions of taking the business or section that you work in almost to a whole new level that nobody has seen before. Can that be considered a grander vision, or is that still just a vision? Do I have to step out on my own, or can I have grander visions within another person's grand vision? Audience participation? Somebody just said yes, no, yes, no, yes. Okay, so we'll take Shabuki, and then she has a question. So if you could... There's a question here. It has been here for quite a bit.
You're still in your comfort zone, so that's why it's easier for you to take it to the next level. You are still in your
you're working your friend's business, both of you are running it together. That's it, right? And you feel you can develop a particular section and take it to the next level. Is that grander? It's still within your comfort zone. Everything around you is still, so it's easy for you. It's very convenient. Our brother said something this morning. Something grander is not convenient. What if you can turn that around for somebody else? Why are you limiting yourself to that person? So that means you can turn it around for quite a number of people, other organizations as well. So why don't you try that? I'm not saying don't turn it around in your business, in your partnership. Do that. But take it higher again. Turn it around somewhere. I thought all I had was where the people I was working for, I was taking their vision higher for them. But they didn't see it. They didn't appreciate it. And God had to wake me up and say, no, it's not for here. You need to take it out. You can take it to this school, you can take it to this school. And the grander one, you can take it to the whole of Nigeria. You can take it, you can start with the Lagos. You don't have to go to all the schools. We have the government. We have policies, we have laws. You can become a changer there to effect the greater place. So you can't say, okay, I want to change it somewhere. You're still within the confines of where you feel very comfortable with. If you want to be grander vision, you are up against giants.
So what I'm hearing you say is that I have to step out of where I am to have grander visions. But let's take, for example, a Satya Nadella, who is now the CEO of Microsoft. Is he that he doesn't, because again, Microsoft provides a huge platform for him to be visible and fulfill his own grander visions. So that's also, is that also possible? And I also hear you say you can do it for where you work, but you should also do it for yourself. So in other words, to answer your question, as I've heard her say, is do that. Expand that section. However, do not ignore your personal brand. Because outside that organization, who are you? So to fulfill your grander vision, you can be in an organization and do fantastic things, but also be yourself with your own name and do fantastic things as well. I hope that's...
Can I help?
Okay.
See, you are never going to be satisfied. And that's how God works. That's what we mean when we say that vision is progressive. Grander vision is way, way beyond you. Sati working with Microsoft. See, even at some levels, it's not everybody that will get it. Some people's ambition is to be the MD of a CEO of Microsoft. And that's where they terminate. But some other people want to take it to the next level. And now, taking it to the next level means you have to leave that comfort zone. So I think that's... So when it comes to grander vision, sorry, you will have to step out. It cannot be fulfilled with... Why did God ask Abraham to leave his father and his mother? God would have done everything he wanted to do there. But he asked him to leave so that he would be alone and he can take direct instructions from God without any other unnecessary influence.
Okay.
So there are times when the vision is grand. For you to make it grander, you need to step out. I'm telling you, you need to. You have to. I've never worked for anybody. I've never been into paid employment. I've never written a CV. Because I was disappointed from my uncles when they promised me, don't worry, just finish anything, you will get a job. And I finished with third class and they told me, don't I pay 2 me. And I'm sure if I'd even tried and gotten a 2, they would have told me to I pay 2-1. So please, see, it might sound funny, but the truth is, you need to just make it grand for yourself. See, this thing is in your mind. Don't limit yourself. Don't.
Okay, so we're going to take one more, wait, sir. We're going to take one more question or comment. Our time has run out. We can continue this conversation forever. Let's take one more and then we shut it down. When the pastor is raising hands, what shall I do? Sir?
Objection or something.
Sir.
Pastor gave me already. I just want us to look at it because Please, not everything that we say that everyone agrees with. If we say that everybody must step out, as we talk, Abioye Oyedepo comes to my mind. Abioye said he has come to serve that man. If my assignment is just to come and fulfill that my assignment is to come and fulfill his purpose, if I step out, I'll be crushed. So everybody cannot be a pioneer. So I think we need to get that angle well. Like for that person, knowledge is required. Sorry, knowledge for that man. The guy.
One house now. Let's hear the rest of the G.
The guy for the origin can negotiate, sit down and say, I want 50% of this, and he gets it. So I think knowledge comes to play with Mrs. Tolu when she was asking. See, knowledge comes to play. You might have a grander vision. If you are not educated, you might be crushed. There is a part to it. So that's my own contribution.
So I'll take that as a contribution. Now we'll take one last question.
Sorry.
I've done a lot of research in the social sector.
Okay.
And questioning issues around the social problems we have today. And I understand this concept of vision, at least to an extent. But I've come to find out that the overall inactions or actions of the government of the day in a particular system can go a long way to compromise the vision of the people. So it may not necessarily be that. I understand the conversation around regardless of the environment, you need to thrive and all that. That is valid. But when you have systems and structures and institutions that compromise or hold down, the vision of the people, or flips it the other way around, then you have a chunk of, your populace at a particular level, and they will never take off. So it is where I believe the church comes in as the light of the world or the salt of the earth, to begin to immerse ourselves quickly in these truths, so that we can, as much as we can in our spaces, begin to lift others out. The lady who talked about the woman who sells bully in her street and all that, you'll be surprised that, yes, truly she's operating the vision, but there are institutional structures that has kept her there. She cannot go beyond that. I mean, frankly, to be very truthful, she cannot go beyond that until the institutional structures of the day takes her out of that space. So what the government has successfully, quote unquote, successfully tried to do is to push in the likes of the trader money options to keep them at that level. So those policy options cannot pull people into that vision place, talking of the grandeur vision. So, frankly, no matter how you may want to challenge the thoughts around being successful and, taking things head on for yourself, regardless of where you are in, there is a multiplier effect around the environment where you live in that can suppress the vision of people or flip it negatively. Take it or leave it. Thank you.
Hello. My name is Victor Akoma Phillips. There's an example that I want to give, and it's the example of Jeff Bezos. But Jeff Bezos is a very successful, one of the richest men, arguably. Jeff Bezos owns 16% of Amazon, and he's still the richest man in the world. But one key thing I learned from Jeff Bezos is the fact that Jeff Bezos, regardless of everything he's done, Amazon Web Services, cloud, the first person that started e-commerce and everything, every time you speak to Jeff Bezos, he says one thing: I do not look at my competitors, I look at my customers. The question for every single person, you have a customer in life. I have a customer. The customer, while I was with, from the first day I was born, I had a customer. And that customer led me to the day that I even joined MTN. From there, went to Cisco. From there, went to VCE. Whilst I was in VCE, God now told me that you are going to own that company called VCE. A combination of VMware, Cisco, and EMC. For crying out loud, how does that ever happen? Simple, dumb, that kind of a thing. But guys, guess what? I'm not there yet. But took a step, left completely. This week, the table I sat on, I like to give live example. If anybody told me that I would sit in front of the CEO of a board, talking to CEOs of one of the largest payment processors in Nigeria, or frankly in Africa, InterSwitch. I would say that can never happen, right? But it's a step towards my grander vision. But I took some very critical stepping out, knowing my customer in my life and identifying who your customer might be. Always know it. That customer might even be you being in a company where you are. But you need to identify it. And that very atomic and that very small aspect is always very critical in everything you do in life. And it will guide, it will guard you, it will protect you, it will lead you to something that is going to be ultimate.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
It's not an issue of stepping out. It's not an issue of remaining inside. And I will give one example. The Wilbur brothers were trying to fly. And they did it for years, but they just couldn't achieve it. It took a while for them to realize that where they were functioning from had bad wind. And they had to relocate the entire project to Kitty Hawk. And they achieved success within a few months. Environment matters a lot. If your environment currently can support your grander vision, which means you can elevate within your environment, become a partner, become a shareholder, become an owner, all the fine, beautiful. But if your environment cannot support it, step out. Bro Victor stepped out because the environment had created a ceiling. But now he's stepping back in because he broke the ceiling from the outside. So that's it for me.
Word. Okay, who's going next?
Okay, so in conclusion, we've been summarizing now. Let me conclude.
Yes, in conclusion.
So, in conclusion, please identify the why behind any of your reason. Either a vision, either be it a grander vision. Identify the why. The why, W-H-Y, is very important.
Fantastic. Thank you.
In closing, basically, I feel that everybody has a vision. It just takes time. Once you're in your purpose of functioning, that's the right purpose. Something that you do seamlessly without, even if you're not making money, you are enjoying it. It's a matter of time you get to that vision and you get your grander vision. So never feel that you have succeeded. Always feel that you need to move further.
I'd like to close with courage. Be courageous. Be courageous. We've been saying step out, step out. Get out of the survival mode. We all live in Nigeria. The survival mode, you keep on collecting salary, because I heard a lot of people clap, and me, I will talk. Because I heard a lot of people clap when PFA got up and said, if you have to stay somewhere, your vision, it's survival mode. Be honest with yourself. You have to crack it. And it takes a lot of courage. When you crack the survival mode mentality, it takes courage. And people that have stepped out, it's not as if they were so sure of what they're going to get. But they have to. So you need to crack that survival. That is what Nigeria will bring you to be a survivor. And we are not survivors. We are world changers. So take the courage and do what God wants you to do.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Let's put our hands together for the panelists. They've done a fantastic job. Thank you.